Hey guys, Chris again from Burgles Brewing, and today I'm doing a little reviewing and a little rambling, but first I'm going to get into the beers. Stay tuned. Alright, so like I said, let's get into it. I got two beers here to review today. I got right here is my Oktoberfest, and right here is my latest hazy IPA. So first, we'll get into the Oktoberfest. We'll go this one. So this was brewed sometime in the middle, end of October, so we're going on about 2 months in the keg now, and I feel like it's really just starting to come around. Like, it's been good pretty much the whole time, but you definitely could tell, it needed a little bit of that lagering time to really come out, but so again, these cups aren't the greatest for this, but I didn't want to take full glasses, but let's try to get it's pretty clear now. It was a little hazy going in. I did put some of Cellar Science's Silifine in it, and it wasn't too great at first, but I think, between the, time in the cold in the keg and that now is finally really coming almost crystal clear, but the aroma, not too much. You get a little bit of that sweet malt on there, but no hops to speak of, no spice, nothing like that. Just smells good, clean. So, oh yeah, yeah, definitely much cleaner and maltier now than it was. Even I would say even 2 weeks ago. It's really, once it hit that 5-6 week mark in the keg, it's really that malt is really starting to shine. It was a really simple recipe. No Pilsner, just 5 pounds of 2-row, 5 pounds of Munich. I think I used a pound of Vienna, and then I hit it with some a little Cara Munich just to give it some color. And then I hit it with the Cellar Science equivalent of 3470. So it's your basic, run-of-the-mill German lager yeast. But you can tell, I don't know if the lighting in here is doing it justice, but it's a little lighter than like your typical Oktoberfest. It's more kind of, I'd say maybe in the middle of a fest beer in an Oktoberfest. And I think with that 3470, it's coming off a little lighter, more like a Vienna lager than an Oktoberfest, but still super super drinkable. Yeah, if anything, I think I just need to use a more traditional Oktoberfest yeast. I think earlier in the year I brewed a Vienna lager, and I used the Berlin strain from Cellar Science, which is more the Oktoberfest, and that Vienna lager came out tasting more like an Oktoberfest than this does. So I think if I were to do it again, I'd switch up those yeasts. But other than that, it's a really nice drinking beer. Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of crystal coming through. The crystal hops I used, not a whole lot. I think I used just an ounce at 5 minutes or something like that. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, it's really good, really drinkable. It's got maybe a little bit of touch of that sulfur from that yeast. It's not off-putting, but it's there, kind of on the back end. And maybe a little, yeah, like I said, maybe a little bit of that crystal hops right in the back end. Maybe some like little floral. So again, maybe go with something more of a traditional German hop the next time. But for the first time brewing an Oktoberfest, I'm pretty happy with it. That's really all I gotta say about that. So let's get into the next one. Here's what's been plaguing me. Here we go, and get a little hazy IPA in here. So this, I'm on iteration, I don't know what, but basically everything I've been brewing lately that's been hoppy has been coming out just a bitter mess. And talking with some of the guys in the Brewtubers club, the homebrew club, it just seems like I've been dry hopping too long with these beers. I've had success going as much as 5 days in like a normal IPA pale ale, and it just seems like with the hazies, it just gives you that bite, and it just doesn't go away. But again, this is another, I think, simple recipe. I think this is 10 pounds of pale ale malt, straight pale ale malt, a pound of flaked wheats, a pound of flaked oats, and this had 10 ounces of the roasted golden oats, whatever, the blonde roast oats, what they put out at HomebrewCon a few years ago. I had some of that still laying around, so I was like, I'd used it in a pale ale or single hot beer before, and it gave it like a nice mouthfeel. So I was like, you know what? I tried the malted wheat last time. Let me try some oats. Just same malt bill. And I think the color is spot on where I wanted it. A little bit lighter than I have been. Mine were coming out a little more orange, dark orange. I kind of wanted a little lighter. Let's see if we can get it in there. Yeah. I think the mouth feels better with the oat than it is with the malted wheat. So that's for sure. I think that's a positive. All right, so first off, I get the aroma's big. The aroma's pretty big. Oh, I should probably tell you what kind of hops are in this one. This is Galaxy and Mosaic. So Mosaic seems to be, Mosaic is one of my favorite hops to use. I get an incredible mango character when I use it, or at least that's what I perceive. I don't get too much of the berry, but definitely get like full-on mango. Almost like an overripe mango, where it can be off-putting and almost kind of get into that diesel sometimes, but I get a lot of huge mango out of it. But in the Galaxy, I perceive as pineapple, but maybe I'm not super familiar with tropical, like fresh tropical fruit, so it could be more like passion fruits kind of in there, because it does have a little almost like a riney character to it that in there too. At least that's what I get out of Galaxy, but let me get into it. And I think, when you get into the taste, I think the Galaxy I did 50-50 in equal amount of Galaxy and Mosaic, except from the dry. I did 3 ounces of each at the Whirlpool, and then in dry hopping, I ended up doing, I think, 2.5-3 ounces of Galaxy and an ounce and a half-ish of Mosaic, because I ran out of Mosaic. I didn't have enough, so I had to overgo with Galaxy. And again, I'm not sure if it's my dry hopping regimen or the Galaxy, because I've used Galaxy in a handful of beers dating back to last year, and just trying, a hazy, just a normal IPA, and they just keep coming out super bitter. And I taste them pre-dry hop, and it's not there. And then after dry hop, it's just there, just this lingering bitterness that just carries through to the end. This one's actually the most drinkable, but it still has this bite at the end that isn't really characteristic of a hazy. I think, if it was a clear West Coast, it might fit better. But I think just in a hazy, it's not really what you want, especially with that creamy mouthfeel, and you get a bite. It's just off-putting a little bit. So definitely improvements to make, but so I don't have a good way to, pressure ferment or, pressure dry hop or any of that. So. And I'm kind of afraid of oxygen exposure with these, since I don't close transfer or pressure transfer either. So I'm already, when I pop the keg open and fill that way, I purge the crap out of the keg. But I don't have a good way to open the fermenter, purge it again. So I'm trying to limit that. So what I've been doing is I take my dry hops and I put them in the keg as I'm filling, and then in a bag, close it up, and I let it sit in the keg for 2 to 3 days in the kegerator. So cold dry hopping, kind of like a pseudo Scott Janish recipe. And this is kind of, I heard him on, I don't remember which podcast, but kind of recommending this because they've been cold dry hopping at Sapwood Cellars, and he recommends, if you want to try on the homebrew scale, this is a good way to do it, to, put it in your keg at kegging time and kind of leave it in there for, they normally only do it for like, I think 24 hours, but they continually push CO2 through it. So it's kind of moving around. So he says maybe the longer contact time on a homebrew setting would be better, and kind of stir the keg a little bit. So maybe I've been leaving it on there too long. Who knows? I know some people have been having better success, 24-hour dry hops, or 36. So maybe the next time I just go, 24, 36 hours even that cold, and see what happens. But and again, I think another thing is, when you pull that hop bag out after it expands, you're when you pull it up through the hole of the keg, it's just squeezing the bag. So I think you're squeezing a lot of that. You ever tasted a hop bag after you dry hop that comes out? It's super bitter. So maybe some of that too is squeezing and getting in there. But I think this is a big improvement on my last couple though. I'm closer with color. I'm closer with mouthfeel. I think that's all there. And I think it's just getting the flavor out of the hops and not getting so much of the bitterness. So it's kind of finding that balance. But again, it's decent. It's drinkable. I'm going to drink the rest of the keg. I'm not going to dump this one like I have my last couple, because, like I said, it's all there. It's just that lingering bitterness in the background that just kind of, it just sticks around. it makes you want to go back in for another sip, but it's just not characteristic of the style. So it's something we can improve on. Sorry, I'm getting a little, got the the football games on in the background. I'm getting a little distracted, but so that's it for the reviewing. So yeah, a little bit of the rambling. So yeah, I've still been brewing up a storm. I'm going every 2 or 3 weeks. I'm just got super gung ho when I started the channel. I wanted to just bust out video after video. I got super excited and just kind of was piecing things together. That first brew day, I just like pieced together. I was filming stuff with the phone, kind of, but I think more realistically, maybe once a month for one of these longer videos. And I found the shorts the other day, and that seems much easier, much more manageable for me, really. But yeah, so I try to do some things to improve. I bought a tripod with one of the makeup tutorial ring lights on it, so that's kind of what you're seeing here. When I got in with the camera, you can kind of see that. I'm hoping that improves the lighting a little bit. It'll help steady the camera. So just baby steps, and I got a small lapel mic, so hopefully that's going to improve the audio on here. Small baby steps, improvements, so I'm trying. We'll see what happens, but that's really it for that, improving the channel. But like I said, I'm still brewing. I'm thinking maybe with the tripod and being able to set the camera and not have to hold it, maybe, I can get into more, brew day videos or some different types of videos, tips, tricks, kind of that whole sort of thing. So watch out if you saw my Instagram reel. I kind of used this tripod as a test with my hop drops. I kind of put it up, tilted it. It seemed to work pretty good. I'm a little nervous about the tripod holder on this for the phone. It seems not so strong, and getting it over that kettle was a little scary, but it worked. So that was a good sign. Yeah, that's really it. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep pumping out content. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, like I said, I'm still brewing up a storm. I got a stout that I just kegged, so maybe I can do a review video on that. Don't have any brew day footage for that. I just did another pale ale a couple days ago. That's in the fermenter now. US-05 is taken off. It's chugging along like a beast. So maybe about the time that pale ale is probably ready to drink, that stout will probably be ready to go. So maybe that'll be a good time to double up again with a dual review video like this one. I'll get back into it. I'm thirsty from all this talking. All right, the rambling started to get really bad towards the end there. So to finish this off, in summation, these 2 beers, they're still on tap. They're drinking. They're gonna get finished. Got stout that I just kegged. It'll be ready to go soon. Pale ale in the fermenter. So like I said, things are on tap. Things are in line. We're still brewing. We're still going. Again, hopefully more content coming soon. Hopefully the audio will get better. The lighting and the camera work will get better. Hopefully that'll make these videos more palatable for everybody. Again, like I said, check out more of my content. Go to Instagram. Check me out at Burgles Brewing. I've been trying to be a little more consistent there. You want to learn more about the Homebrew Club, Brewtubers.com. Go check us out. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors, 5 Star Chemical, Brewing America, Beer and Wine Hobby Shop, Imperial Yeast, and Yakima Valley Hops. All right, guys. It's been fun. I'll see you next time.